Yep, no, make sure. All good. Yep. Coach, obviously a pretty good night for you, mate. You must be happy with how the performance from the team was from the get-go.
Yeah, I thought, we were pretty relentless the whole 40 minutes, and I thought that we played smartly and aggressively, and then tidied some things up, which gave us some problems in Adelaide, which is a good sign. And contributions across the board. I've just seen this for the first time, but just contributions across the board and guys chipping away. And I just thought we, did a really nice job defensively to hold them to 70 points there. And I thought the effort was just good across the board.
Nick Marshall starting for the first time. How happy are you with his performance?
Yeah, he was not going to start, but Dermot 2 days ago jammed his back, and so that kind of put him in a different situation there. And Dermot's, one of those guys that is kind of, a Swiss Army knife, and Nick was ready to go, and Dermot was still on the mend, so they both still contributed greatly. And Nick's, like I've said before, going to be a hell of a player for us. He's just learning how to play the right way, and with our group, I think he will just continue to grow.
I did notice what seemed to get thrown around a bit by the other side. I noticed a limp at one point there. How is he going after the game?
He's banged up. 2 or 3 days ago, he got jarred in practice, and his back kind of just gave out a bit, and so he's been dealing with that for the last 48 hours. And, we just got to recover and get ready to go tomorrow and fly to New Zealand.
Tyger, you had a pretty big second quarter, mate. Was it the crowd that sort of lifted you, or did you just find your own sort of rhythm?
Of course, the crowd played a big part tonight, but I think it was just the team. We were moving the ball, running the plays, running our sets, getting what we needed. And I think the ball just hit my hands, and I was just ready.
It seemed to be three-pointer after three-pointer after three-pointer.
Yeah. I was just, I was open, and I was just looking to score a little bit, but I give all credit to my teammates. They were finding me. I couldn't hit the threes without the kick out, so.
Coach, you must be pretty happy with how your imports are playing this early on in the season. You had that 4-game travel, but the way they're all performing tonight, you must be pretty stoked with that.
Yeah, we got good guys and high-character guys, and that's what we pride ourselves on here. And, they're quite talented in their own individual way, but they are, truly about the team and team first, and that's what we look for when we try to find a jack jumper. And our imports are quite humble and good guys and coachable and young, and enthusiasm has really their enthusiasm really helped our team across the board to be excited about playing with these guys.
A month ago, we spoke about your offensive and defensive rebounds and the lack of them they were. And here we are tonight, and you've won both of those. So that's obviously a massive talking point for you.
Yeah, we continue to harp on a few things, and that's obviously one of them. And our foul discipline was pretty good again tonight, which was horrendous basically in Adelaide, which put us on the back foot from the beginning of that game. So it's good that we're able to make adjustments and figure things out and not duplicate those errors. But there's a ton of room to grow there, and we continue to work hard and get better at it.
I want to talk about Ben Eyre. Ben Eyre's obviously not the biggest player on the court, but you've got to be happy with what he brings every week. He had 13 points tonight, I think 1 rebound and 2 assists, but it's what he does when his teammates score. Is that real sort of team play?
Yeah, he's another guy that, we had our eye on for 2 years, and I think he just needed to get into the right situation. And I think as much as I wanted to get him, I think he needed the jack jumpers also. And he's got a lot of swagger, and he plays the right way, and he's got some toughness and grit, which I love. We kept saying over the last 2 or 3 games that, the ball's going to start going in for you, and he made some crucial shots for us. And he's just a really competitive kid.
What happened with Will?
He just got thrown out. He opened his mouth and had a conversation with him in the locker room, just unacceptable. And, he put us in a bind with already being short players, and we just have to move on. But he's learned a hard lesson.
And now you travel to New Zealand, obviously another quick turnaround. You've got to be pretty used to that.
Well, I'm not used to it, but we just got to do what we got to do. We got to recover tonight and travel tomorrow and get some rest as best we can and go back at it again.
You seem to be a coach that's very future-focused, moving on to the next, but you've got a couple of flights, a few hours in the sky. What are you going to be thinking on, reflecting on ahead of the game against the Breakers?
Well, I got to get caught up on actually watching them play. I've only seen them once, and it was actually preparing for the Sydney game, so we'll watch a lot of video in the next 24 hours while we're flying over there, and then we'll work on our game plan and what we're going to do on the morning of the game.
Must be happy with where the team is this far into the season, so I'm sure that you're doing quite well.
Yeah, you're happy is probably a over-exaggerated word. I don't think a coach is really ever happy. I think we have some growing areas that we have to make sure that we're addressing, and I think, you know, the exciting part is we're young and we have guys that are going to continue to grow over the period of time, and we're going to take our lumps across the course of the season. We've already had some with some of these injuries, and a lot of teams are going through it. And again, we're just trying to thrive in these first 9 games, 7 of them being on the road. We're just trying to thrive in there and keep our head above water and try to do the right thing.
Tyger, what do you put it down to this team having such a great start for this season?
I think it's just, you know, we're really connected, and I think we love seeing the next guy do good. We're not really intra-focused on ourselves. We all just want to see each other do well, because we know if the next person's doing well, then that's good for the team. So we're just very team-oriented.
Yeah, Tyger, I missed the start, so apologies if I'm repeating anything, but this is your first win in this building, and you would have heard a lot about how good of a home atmosphere this is in Hobart. What was it like to experience a win in front of the home fans for the first time?
It was great tonight. They showed a lot of love throughout the whole game. You know, we kind of knew it was going to be rowdy in warm-ups, and before they even threw the ball up, they were chanting super loud. So, yeah, it's second to none. It was great playing here tonight with the crowd. They really turned us up.
And Scott, apologies if you've already touched on this, but it felt like a really JackJumpers game. I mean, you're able to really get locked in defensively and put in a really good defensive performance, especially on KD, but really you had none of their players get going. And then it was pretty controlled on offense. You moved the ball well and seemed to get a lot of the looks that you would have been hoping for.
Yeah, again, you know, my whole philosophy is, you know, to try to get to 90 points. I think if you can get to 90 points, you should be able to win games in this league, and then your defense has to be sound enough in that area to get to that point. And you know, I think we still have a wide range of things to explore offensively to push that number up a tad. But I've said, you know, from day one that I ever got here that, you know, defense wins championships, and it gives you the best chance to have an opportunity to get into the Final Four and into the finals and grand finals. And that's really hard to do over a course of the season, but we continue to work on it. We have areas still to improve there. But again, to hold this team that's, you know, high-powered, and they played a wonderful game a couple nights ago against Adelaide, and to hold them to 70 in our building, really good job for our group.
Just going back to Will, I mean, he's such an important player for you, and obviously you're a very different team when he's off the court. I mean, you're up 19 when he gets ejected, and you still end up winning by 16. Are you relieved in a way that you dodged a bullet that didn't hurt you as much as it perhaps could have?
Well, I am relieved, and you know, I had some very choice words for Will while the players are out there stretching, but you know, the importance of him, and I think as a young kid, and he's still quite young, and now he's been thrown in this role as the leader of our team, the captain. He's captain of the Boomers team of this recent round with FIBA, with those guys, and the responsibility that comes with that. I made it well known to him of what I expect from him. And, you know, he was quite emotional about that, and quite upset that it got to the point where he ended up getting ejected. But those are growth moments, and unacceptable. But we have to move on, and the guys rally around him in the locker room and showed him some love. But those are just growth moments for a young kid that's thrown into that role. And I had my say, and we'll move on.
There's no excuses, but at the same time, was his unsportsmanlike in the first half a little bit unlucky either way?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. I thought it was just a natural basketball play of just going through the rim, and, you know, when you see it in the review, which I don't, you know, you just have no idea what's going to come back out of those reviews. And then it's just hard for me to say anything about it because it's happening so fast. I don't see the reviews. But for me, it just looked like a natural basketball play that he just went through people to try to score.
Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
Hold on, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.